weekends, big bro. I'm out here getting this money on these streets, man. I'm getting it. But at the same time, I understand that I can't continue to live like this, and I need to take some of this money I got and invest it, man. Can you help me? I tell you what, little bro, you know I really don't like doing this, but throw me about 10 G's, man, and we can get this water company off the ground, man, and get this legal money. I need you to get word to my little partner Goldie, man. Abort mission. Stay away from the office, man. And people just knock us or whatever, and stay away from the office, man. Look here, officer, I done already told you, man. I don't know what's going on. I ain't nobody else involved. I'm not involved. I don't know what's going on at the office. I don't know nothing. Give me an attorney. Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. You know, today is June the 1st, and it's a very special, sentimental day for me that goes back many, many moons. Way back in, I want to say 2004, I was locked up with a kid, and we're just going to refer to him as Goldie. That's not his real name, but out of respect for his family and the things that transpired, I'm not going to use his real name. So we're just going to refer to him today as Goldie. Goldie was like a 19-year-old kid. He was 18, but just turning 19. And him and I was going through the court system together. He went to court for sentencing. He had been out on bond. Now, the way that it works in Kentucky is when you get out on bond, you know, obviously works this way anywhere, I would guess. You go back and forth to court. But when you get sentenced, like when you take your plea deal, you get an additional 30 days before you come back for final sentencing. So you don't know if you're going to get probation or not, because in Kentucky, you can't plead guilty in Lexington anyway. When you plead guilty to a charge, you don't know if it's going to be probated or not. Only thing you know is the prosecution and say, okay, we won't oppose probation. We won't take a stance on it. We won't say anything. So we were in court together, and I had never met this kid. At the time, he was 18, but he was, you know, shortly would turn 19. Goldie was going to court. He got caught up on some drug trafficking. Got caught with like some cocaine, you know, something like that or whatever. And, you know, he was selling or whatever. And he was hoping for probation. You know, he came back. He did everything that he was supposed to do. Never missed a court date. Was never late. Anything like that. It was his first charge ever. He didn't even have a juvenile record. Graduated from high school. Had good grades. Aspired to go to college. So, you know, he comes to court and his hopes is up. You know, he's really thinking that he has an excellent shot for probation. He has a paid attorney. His paid attorney, you know, was going to go in, speak highly of him or what have you. So a couple individuals that went before the judge before Goldie, he had a DUI, and he had actually gotten into an accident to where he killed somebody. Now, somebody had died as a result of the accident. I'm not going to say he killed him, but he was driving drunk, got in an accident, and the individual that was involved in the wreck died. He had a 10-year sentence just as well. So everybody's going up for probation. Now, myself, I know I'm not going up for probation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the last one to go before the judge. I know that I can't get probation at this point. I think I had violated my probation. I had done something dumb, something young, something foolish or whatever. But nevertheless, Goldie goes before the judge. No, actually, let's take that back. Let's take that back. The kid goes before the judge that was driving drunk and kills somebody. He gets probation. 5 years probation, which means if you mess up, you come back. He got 5 for 5. So if you mess up, you come back and do 5 years, which in Kentucky is about half of that. Or you can walk down probation for 5 years, and totally, you know, you're done. Slate clean as far as with the Department of Correction. You're still going to have that record, but you can work on getting your record expunged and, you know, things of that nature. So when Goldie seen this, he's very, very optimistic because he's like, oh, man, this judge is showing love. He got in a wreck. He was driving drunk. Somebody died, and he still gets probation. It's a white kid. He was going to the University of Kentucky at the time. Never been in trouble, just like Goldie. And, you know, his parents, they had money, so he had a high-powered attorney, and, you know, they went in and they spoke highly of him or whatever. And you see all of this because you're in the courtroom as the proceedings proceed, if you will. So Goldie's feeling very, very, you know, he's feeling good about his chances of walking out of that courtroom. He's dressed. He got his, you know, his hair is sharp. Got a haircut. He got a suit and tie on. You know, he has his representatives there, his attorneys there. They go in, they speak highly of him, show his high school diploma. He has aspirations to go to college. He's never been in trouble a day in his life. Guess what the judge does, you all? 10 years. 10 years, hard time in the state penitentiary. Nobody could understand why. I understand why. But hey, that's a different video for a different day. But I think if you know how to read between the lines, we all understand why. Here it is. You got a kid that killed somebody driving drunk. And he gets off on probation. He gets 5 for 5. So even if he does mess up, he only has to do 5 years when he comes back. Opposed to a guy that was selling a little bit of cocaine and you give him 10 years. No gun, no violence, no nothing. No prior record, no nothing. You give him 10 years. But see, that's the thing about these judges. They don't have to justify their decisions. They're the judge. So if they come in and they in a good mood, they can give everybody probation and let everybody go that day. But if they're not in a good mood, they can throw the book at you. Well, essentially, that's what they did with Goldie. They threw the book at him. So he goes back to the county jail. He's all pressed out or whatever. He can't believe that he got sentenced. Because, again, he was on the streets. He was out on bond. So they take him in custody and, you know, he goes through the whole, has to sit in the county jail and then wait. And then the Department of Corrections comes and picks him up or what have you. So during that process, it was about, I don't know, 9 months. Him and I, we kind of got separated. Now, we were never really close initially. But, you know, we from the same turf, from, you know, the same hometown or what have you. And we were going to court together. Our cases were similar as far as when we caught the cases. So when they called him to go to the Rotary Farm, which is a place to where you go and get processed and classified. You go there, it's just a temporary stop. And then you, once you get classified, you get sent off to whatever prison that you're going to be housed at permanently. So during that whole exchange or during that whole transition or what have you, we got separated. I end up getting sent to Lee Adjustment Center. It's in Beattyville, Kentucky. I get sent to Lee Adjustment Center. I'm there. I see a bunch of people that I know from Lexington or whatever. But I have no clue that Goldie's there. I end up getting into a fight. I hadn't even been there long. I was there maybe, I don't even know. I was there 2 weeks. And I end up getting into a fight with somebody on the yard. Dude tried me and I had to hold my own, man. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just the way that it was. He tried me right there on the yard. So I had to hold my own. We fought or whatever. Police came, they broke it up, sprayed us with mace or whatever, like the bird spray, like they do. Didn't even have to, but that's just what they love to do. They take us to the hole. We go to the hole, 15 days in the hole. Well, the hole was so crowded to where we only ended up doing like maybe 7 or 8 days. They let us out of the hole. When they let you out of the hole, you got to go all the way back through. They have a temporary dorm that you stay in at Lee County, Lee Adjustment Center. So when you go through the temporary dorm, you stay there for probably up to 30 days, and then they send you to your regular dorm. So when I come out of the hole, I'm in the temporary dorm. I'm there maybe 2 or 3 days, and I'm at the front because it's like a property room in the front. So I'm at the front property room or whatever, because back then you could still get packages. My family had sent me a package: towels, food, washcloths. They can send you a robe, pillows, bedspreads, you know, things like, you know, from home or what have you. So I'm up there to get my package. They could send you sweatsuits because they had just taken the clothes off the yard. So they used to have clothes on the prison yard. At that point, they had taken the clothes off the yard, but your family could send you like gray sweatsuits, gray shorts, white shirts, t-shirts, and or gray t-shirts. So I was getting my package, and I look up, and lo and behold, I see Goldie. Like, what's up? What's up, Goldie, man? What's going on with you? Goldie had just gotten out of the hole. I'm like, man, I just got out of the hole. Goldie had been in the hole for like 45, 60 days. I forget what he did. But he had been in the hole, but he didn't know that I was in the hole because, like, when you're in the hole, you can't see everybody that's in the hole. So, Goldie and I, we get to chopping it up. At this point, he's 19. Like I said, he was 18 initially or whatever, but he was going on 19. He was going on 19. Actually, he was 19. I'm sorry. So, we cool or whatever. We're in the same dorm. Everything's cool. Now, Goldie's about 5... At this particular time, Goldie's about 5 years younger than me. So, we cool. We chop it up, but it's not like we kick it every day. So, Goldie teaches me how to play chess. And he's a young dude. Teaches me how to play chess. We work out together from time to time. But Goldie's custody level ended up dropping before mine. I don't understand how, but it did. So they sent him off. They ended up sending him off to a camp. I'm still behind the fence or what have you. Medium security prison, Beattyville. So, I worked my custody level down or what have you. They ended up sending me to a camp. A camp is a low-level prison. They don't have a fence. It's for inmates that, the levels are low. You got less than 4 years to, go home or what have you. So I get sent to the same camp, Blackburn, in Lexington, Kentucky. Goldie's there once again. He tells me, hey, bro, jump on in this class, man. We got some openings. I'm like, what class you talking about? Goldie was in, studying to be an electrician. So I'm like, oh, for real? I'm like, man, I don't know nothing about being an electrician. He's like, man, come on in here, man, for real. It's a cool class. I help you out or whatever. So I jump into class. Everything's cool. I'm going to class every day. You go to class from probably 7:30 in the morning, 7:45 in the morning, all the way to about 3:15, Monday through Friday. When you get out, you graduate the class, you have a certificate. And at the time, it was called I forget what it was called, but basically you could take a certificate to any company on the outside and you show them, listen, man, I want to get my journeyman's license or what have you. Most of them would hire you. They don't care nothing about you being a felon. So, he really helped me throughout that class, like smart kid. He was very, very smart because you have to do book work. You have to do your on-the-job training, your hands-on work, but yet you have to do the book work. And some of that book work, and I'm not, I'm pretty intelligent, but some of that book work, like the formulas and the math problems or what have you, I didn't quite understand all the formulas. Goldie was so cold at that, man. Like, he was just smart. He was a smart kid. And he kept saying, man, when I get out, I'm going to the University of Kentucky. I'm going to get my degree. And I'm trying to be, I forget exactly what he was trying to be. But I believed it because he was so smart. So we're in the class or whatever. He ends up graduating the class before me because he had already been in the class. And he makes, no, I take that back. Actually, he makes parole while he's in the class. So he never had a chance to graduate. The first time that he goes up for parole in a 10-year sentence, you do 20% of your time. He did 2 years, went up for parole. They let him out. I was shocked because I figured they would be like, okay, finish this class first, and then we'll allow you to go. Nah, they let him go. So he ends up going home. I'm still locked up. I'm in the class or whatever. And I really don't hear too much from him. I think he shoots a letter or two. But, he's a young kid. At this point, he's like probably 21, 20, going on 21 at this point. So, he's out in the free world or whatever. He shoots a letter back to us. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm doing good. I'm working or whatever. I'm going to school. I'm at the University of Kentucky. So he goes to school as he says that he's going to go to school. Everybody's happy for him. Everybody's proud for him, So I end up doing maybe 2 more years. I finished the class. I get my little certificate or what have you. And when I come home, Goldie had already been home for 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. He's in school. He's halfway through school. But he's getting his money. He's getting his hustle on. Now, I didn't see Goldie initially. So actually, he was more than 2 years through school, what have you, because I didn't see him initially when I, first came home. It was probably maybe a year, 9 months, something like that before I seen Goldie. And Goldie appeared to be doing very, very well. Like I said, he was actually in his 3rd year at UK. University of Kentucky. He was driving a white Chrysler 300. Nice. I'm talking about nice, man. And he was doing his thing, man. He was really, really doing his thing. Basically, what happened with Goldie was when he came home, he didn't have any money. He couldn't get any financial aid. He couldn't get any scholarships, anything like that, because he had a felony. He really wanted to go to school, so he started hustling again. Even though he was on parole, he started hustling. Nobody gave Goldie nothing when he came home. He had 20 bucks. He went to see his guy. Hey, man, that's all I got. I got 20 bucks, man. Dude gave him a double up. Gave him 20. He gave him $40 worth of product. He took that $40, flipped it. Now he got $80. He goes back. Dude gives him, $80 worth of product. He flips that. Now he got $160. And so on and so on. He just keeps flipping. Now he's going back and he needs, he got $250. He got $300. So you see what I'm saying? So he keeps flipping his money, He's not spending anything. He's wearing the same clothes every single day, but he's still going to school, and he's just making his money. He's taking penitentiary chances because he's on the block. He's out there on the block, on the streets. So he's throwing rocks at the penitentiary, but it's working for him. So he gets to the point to where he's no longer having to be on the block. Now he's supplying to people that are on the block. Money's long. Money's growing every single day. So I see him, we chop it up or what have you. I don't see him again for another 6 or 7 months. I'm at a nightclub. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always looking for ways to make a legal dollar. I noticed that in Lexington, they didn't have anybody that was doing a picture booth. Now, picture booths, like when you go to the club and, they have like the backdrops with the colorful backgrounds or what have you. And you charge them $10 and they take a picture. I started doing that. So I'm at all the nightclubs in Lexington. I'm making a killing. I'm using the old Polaroid cameras, though. I'm not even using the digital. I haven't even transitioned over to digital. I'm still using Polaroid. But Polaroids had pretty much been, phased out at that point. So I'm making a killing. I end up seeing Goldie at the club one night. He's like, man, I like what you're doing, man. I got some money that I've been, saving up or whatever. I want to do something legitimate. I know you're a smart dude. I know that, we can make something happen for us, because this money I got, I know that if I keep on going down the road that I'm going, I know I'm going to end up at. First couple times he sees me, I'm turning him down. He's calling me. I'm not really even calling him back. I'm not trying to play him to the left. I'm just not really trying to get involved. I'm not trying to accept any money from anybody. I'm just really trying to stay focused, and do what I do. Something that ended up happening with my job. I was working at the gym at the time, and basically I got let go. I got laid off or whatever. I had been there for a while, over a year, and now money's kind of funny. And you got a felony or whatever. You can't just go and get another job. It's not that easy. So I end up calling Goldie. I'm like, let me holler at you, man. So I come over. I tell him, the idea that I have. I have an idea to start a water company. Now, when I say the water company, it's not like we're producing water for people. It's a water purification. We sold water purification system. You know what I mean? So it purifies the water. So when it comes from the water main, how the water is real hard when it comes out of the faucets and like the shower and things like that. It purifies the water with the crystals. That's, a part of the system or what have you. So now the water is soft, and all those chemicals that you're drinking when you drink faucet water has been removed from the water. I knew that because I used to work for a company called Rainsoft, and I did fairly well. They ended up finding out about my record, and they let me go because I lied on my application. Because, heck, you tell the truth, you can't get a job, man. But if you lie, you definitely can't get a job either. So I wouldn't recommend anybody to lie. That's just what I did. But I was one of the better salesmen there, and they let me go. But I knew all about the water purification system. So I was telling Goldie, listen, man, we can start this company. All we need is, X amount of dollars. I think like 20 grand or whatever. He calls me up one day. He tells me, come over. I go over. Come on, man, let's take a ride. We jump in the white 300. We riding or whatever. Feel something, man. I'm sitting on something. Oh, man, I'm sitting on a pistol. He's like, man, there it goes. I was looking for that. He grabs his pistol. He puts it in the, the glove box. Or the little compartment or whatever, the middle console. So we park. He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. We park. He goes around the corner. Probably about 15 minutes later, he comes back. When he comes back, he tosses me a wad of money. When he tosses me the wad of money, it's wrapped up in a rubber band. It's 10 G's, man. Is that enough? I'm like, man, it's more than enough, because I already had some money. Then I had a cousin that was in on it just as well. He had some money. I was like, man, it's more than enough. Let's get this money, man. So we start the company, man. We order all the water purification systems. I think we order like 10 of them just to get started. We get all the chemicals, everything that we needed. We get the building. We pay the building rent up for 6 months. So, computers, the tables, the desk, whatever. We get everything that we need to get this company off the ground. Phone line set up, internet. Everything's cool. Company's kind of slow because we didn't really have a whole lot of money to advertise. But we were moving a couple units, but it wasn't enough to, I was still having to kind of come out of pocket or whatever. But it was still cool, though, because we were moving units, and I wasn't having to come out of pocket as much. Because my cousin, he was supposed to contribute a certain amount of money, and the money that he was supposed to get, it didn't come through. So I couldn't just allow the business to drown. So guess what? I fall back into doing the things that I used to do to, try to sustain the business. Fast forward, I end up getting caught up. I get caught up. The feds is looking for me, looking for my cousin or whatever. They end up getting me. When they get me, they get my cousin actually. But when they get him, he tells on me. So when he tells on me, they come and get me. I'm in jail. They let him out. I'm telling my dude, Goldie, I'm like, listen, bro, I'm going to get you your money back. I'm going to get you your bread because this is unfair to you. The units that we had, because we had accumulated more units, like we sell a unit, those water purifications at the time, systems were going for like $3,500, $3,200, maybe $2,600 if you cut somebody a deal. We was only paying like $600-$700 per unit. My punk ass cousin calls the manufacturer, calls the company, says, hey man, we got like 12 or 13 of these systems or whatever. Would you all be willing to buy them back? They buy the units back just a little bit cheaper than what they sold them to us for. Everything in the office, he takes. All the camera equipment, all the computers, everything. Because we were still doing the picture booths. Everything. I don't see nothing. I'm in jail. I come home. My dude Goldie, I get out on bond. Goldie's questioning me like, bro, what's up with that money, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get you your bread, dog, because I understand that you don't have anything to do with my cousin. So he was like, man, he knew I wasn't lying, basically. You know what I'm saying? And Goldie was a gangster, man. He didn't play no games. He had gorillas around him, man, but he respected me. He loved me, man, for real. But about that dollar, man, love sometimes gets thrown out the window. So, I'm talking to him or whatever. I'm like, man, I got something for you or whatever. So a few weeks later, I hit him out with a couple thousand, but that's nowhere near, that's a far cry from the 10 grand that he gave me. I'm in the hole. But I'm still trying to fight my way out of the hole. Plus, I'm having to pay him. And I got a lawyer I got to pay. And, I'm dealing with this. I'm out on bond. I had been locked up for 7 months. I finally get out on bond. So I got a whole lot going on. But yet, I'm trying to get him his bread. They end up locking me up. I end up going back to jail. I stay out on bond for 5 months. I end up copping out to the charges. I get 3 years. They lock me up. When I go back to prison, I'm in the joint. I'm back in prison again for the second time. Word comes to me, Goldie gets killed. I'm like, what? Goldie got killed? I mean, what happened? So, yeah, man, Goldie got killed, man. But I didn't find this out until like a month later. I'm like, what? Come to find out, Goldie had a long-lost brother that he had never met. The brother was in Miami. So they had became, familiar with each other or got cool, but they only talked on the phone. Wasn't no FaceTime and all that back then. So they only talked on the phone. Goldie had told his brother what he was doing. His brother was like, listen, man, you come down here, what you paying down there, man, I can get you 4 of them for the price of, 2 that you paying down there. And you can really, really make your money. Well, Goldie trusted his brother. It was his half-brother, but still, it was his brother. They had been talking, communicating or what have you. So he trusted him. Well, it just so happens to where in Miami, Goldie, at the University of Kentucky where he went to school, and he graduated. He had graduated from the University of Kentucky. So the whole time that he was hustling, he continued to go to school, and he got his bachelor's degree. Well, he met a young lady. She was from Miami. He ended up getting her pregnant. So they had a son together. he would often travel to Miami anyway to see his son. So it just so happens that his brother lived in that area, and he was going to meet his brother. When he goes to meet his brother to make the transaction or what have you, it's at a truck stop. He stops at the truck stop. He goes. It's a Mexican dude. They make the transaction. Goldie gives him the money. The Mexican dude gives him the product. Excuse me, y'all. He checks it, makes sure that everything is everything. He's walking away. The brother's not there. He just arranged it. As he's walking away, the Mexican runs up on him, bow, shoots him in the back of the head. Instantly gone. Shoots him in the back of the head. Grabs the product that he had just given him and rides off. Somehow they figure out who was involved or what have you. The Mexican goes to trial. He gets convicted of the murder. But when he gets convicted of murder, see, the thing about going to trial, a lot of people like to do is that, yeah, you might initially get a lot of time, but it's always 9 times out of 10. I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10, but it's always an opportunity for a loophole. Something had happened. I don't remember exactly what it was. The prosecution had done something that they wasn't supposed to do. The Mexican ended up getting a retrial, a new trial. So his conviction was thrown out. He ended up getting a retrial. They retried him. And he ended up taking like a plea deal. He had been locked up for so long. Because just because you get a retrial, it doesn't mean that you just get out. It just means, okay, you go through the whole process once again. So you got to stay in the county jail for that long. So he's in the county jail 3, 4, 5 years. And I think he ended up taking something small to where he didn't have to do much more time. And then, he comes home. So that's what ended up happening to my little homie Goldie. And today, would have been his birthday. June the 1st, every June the 1st, I think about him. And I knew it because he had June the 1st tattooed on his arm, which I knew his birthday anyway, but that always stood out. June the 1st or whatever year that he was born in. So I'm saying, a lot of you youngsters, man, you think these streets is a game. You think that these streets is something nice, man. They'll kill you over $1, man. His own brother set him up. And I'm not sure whatever happened to the brother. I'm not sure if to my knowledge, he was never implicated. He was implicated, but I don't think that he was ever charged in the actual crime. And, to this day, Goldie's son is probably, I don't know, I don't know exactly how old he is, maybe 20, 21, something like that. And it's just so sad because it was a life taken way too soon, as it often happens. Here it is, you got a guy that come home from prison, don't have nothing. Ain't nobody giving him nothing. His mama got high, his daddy got high, he didn't have nothing. And he's hustling. $20 is all he had. And he ran at $20. One time I asked him, I said, hey, Goldie, man, I ain't trying to meddle with you, man, but I always see you flossing money and flaunting money on Facebook, because he would have just big wads and have it up against his ear in all hundreds. What's the most money you ever had? He said, bro, I don't even know. He said, the most that I've ever counted was about 400 bands. He said, but I had more than that. That was just at this particular spot. Then I had some other things that was out on the streets or whatever. He said about 400 bands. But I know he lived like he traveling to Miami all the time. They constantly taking trips. He ended up buying like a Lexus. Then he had another car on top of the Chrysler 300. Top of the line clothes, jewelry or whatever. Paid for his education and go, to college, get his bachelor's degree. But at the end of the day, look what ended up happening. Everything that glitters ain't gold, man. At the end of the day, I'm quite sure that, and this is no disrespect to him nor anyone else in this situation, but I'm quite sure that he would much rather be here for his son, be in his son's life, than be in the situation that he's in, man. It was a sad story. It was a sad situation, man. And it really taught me some things. It really made me put some things into perspective. Like, okay, I don't need to be out here trying to get this money like that, man. Yeah, money is good to have, man. It's cool, but dirty money never lasts longer than clean money. It just don't. I don't care how much money you make on the streets. Eventually, you're going to lose it. Somebody going to rob you. Somebody going to kill you. The police is going to take it when they kick your door in. Your girl or your partners or your family going to steal the money from you when you're locked up in jail. Then you're going to have to pay a lawyer 10, 15, 20,000 or more. Then you buying commissary. Then you paying for phone calls, $2 a call. So at the end of the day, all of that money really is null and void. It just fades away. Opposed to you just get you a job, you grind, get you a couple jobs, and you stack that money, get your credit right, and then you try to get into something else that's gonna keep you out here on these streets. But nah, we know that the turtle don't always win the race, but we want it to. We want it to. So a lot of people, you know, we don't have patience. We don't have the patience to sit around and say, man, forget a 5-year plan, man. I'm trying to come up in 5 months, 5 weeks. That's what happened to my homie Goldie, man. So sad, man. Dude shot him in the back of the head. Never even had a chance, man. R.I.P. Goldie, man. Happy birthday, dog. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you liked the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive.